Yo, what is going on, Comfy Gang? It's your boy Comfy NEET, and today I wanted to make a little video really more directed to myself, and that's because this might be probably one of the dumbest video ideas I've made in a while. Maybe not as much as a snooze fest as my previous video, but yeah, this one's probably kind of dumb, but basically it's a little reminder, more so to myself specifically, but maybe I guess to other NEETs out there, or just people in general, wages, NEETs, whatever, that life could be so much worse. And just a little reminder, again, mostly to myself, to be more grateful. Maybe I'll go back and watch this in the future, but yeah. And the reason I feel this way is honestly kind of retarded, but basically last night I had this dream where I don't know, I forget the details, because how when you dream and you kind of remember it in detail for the first 30 minutes after waking up, but as the day goes on you forget most of it, except maybe the core takeaway from the dream, or maybe a few key details. But basically I forget if I was framed, or if I did this out of self-defense, but apparently in this dream I was on I was on trial for stabbing somebody but yeah, I think it was out of self-defense or something. But basically it was out of self-defense, and I don't know, the person died. Okay, I swear I'm not a violent person. I've actually never hurt anybody, and I don't intend to, but it's just it's a dream, right? So yeah, I think I might have been framed too, I forget which, but the point is I was on trial, and the judge friggin' looked like what's her name, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because I guess I've been seeing her on the news, rest in peace obviously, but yeah, the judge looked like RBG, and I don't know, I forget, but it was I was on trial, and then I don't know, this judge who kind of looked like her, I don't know, they were saying all this crap, and it was weird because it wasn't taking place in a courtroom, but it was kind of taking place with my own my old band classroom, how you have those band rooms, and then there's the podium where the conductor is, and it's the judge was at the podium, except it was that desk thing that the judges have at court, and there was a witness stand too, but then all the seats were kind of positioned as if it were in a, I don't know what they call a band, basically, yeah, band. And I had my lawyers, I forget what they look like, to my right side, but my parents were sitting to my left, and and I don't know, some stuff went down, and all of a sudden somehow this judge started being an asshole to me. So I remember being super worked up, finding it so unfair. I think she was pulling some I don't know, obviously was not on my side. Obviously that's not how a judge is supposed to work, but but this judge was pissing me off, and then eventually I was super exasperated because I was on trial for basically murder, not even manslaughter, but murder. And I was obviously pretty emotional in the dream, and then I just said some next shit to the judge, and I called her cunt or something, and well, this judge was not too happy about that, and was said something along the lines of "F it," you're not having a jury trial anymore. I find you guilty. Like, obviously this is not how court works at all, thankfully. But I was found guilty, and in that moment, I just remember the sheer like feeling of my heart dropping out of my chest, and that impending hopelessness that, you know, washed upon me, and just thinking and feeling just complete and utter despair. Just that feeling of like, holy crap, my life is over. Because when you think about it, when you go to prison, even if it's for like 10 years, let alone like murder charges, which are at least like minimum 40 years, it's like your life is pretty much over. And it kind of just puts into perspective how valuable your time is. And I was like, holy crap, like I'm trying not to swear, like holy crap, my life is over. And then I just remember, you know, I think I was crying. I think I broke down in tears in the dream, or maybe not, but I just remember all of a sudden, you know, looking at my parents and wanting to like hug them regardless of what they did to me in the past. And it's like kind of made me realize that, yeah, you know, they're not perfect, but they tried their best. And I also remember just kind of like the look of sadness on their face, like disappointment, sadness, fear, and just like me all of a sudden wanting to reach out to them and like hug them and shit. And I'm probably extremely cringe, but yeah. And just also just the thoughts that are going through my head, like how the hell am I gonna survive like prison life? And, you know, like how am I gonna survive like prison life? And like yeah, just the harshness of that, and me like coming up with all these thoughts like, oh, you know, in prison, like, you know, maybe if I just check in a solitary, I won't get my I don't know I won't get violated. I can check in a solitary if I can handle it. And maybe if I just do push-ups every day, if I practice, you know, boxing, that'll help me keep my sanity despite being alone like 23 hours of the day. I can, you know, make sure to take in all the sunshine in the courtyard and cope. And it's like, you know how people say like, oh, like you're coping this, you're coping that, you know, you shouldn't do this because it's cope. Like, nah, like actual cope is going to prison and having to rationalize the fact that your life is basically over, and trying to come up with stuff like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that, you know, it's not really that bad. You know, I could probably, this is my new life now, what can I do? Like, that's actually cope. Like, holy crap. But I actually thought like my life was over. And I remember in the car ride back, I don't know, it's like weird because like somehow like my dad was driving, and all of a sudden he's like picked up like old friends or like acquaintances from like high school, and I was just like talking to them, and I don't even know, it was like just like catching up, I guess. But it was like all of a sudden I realized like, you know, okay, like maybe talking to people isn't so bad, you know, maybe I should have taken the time to try and get to know people better and not be so messed up. And it was just like, yeah, all of a sudden, like, and it's dumb because it's just a dream, but it kind of made me, it kind of put into perspective all the things. Like, I'm not saying my life is perfect, it's far from perfect, and there's a lot that could improve for sure. And, you know, I still want to improve and stuff, but, you know, not for the sake of improving, but just like to, you know, to experience certain things in life that I'd like, or at least try to, you know, maybe not have so much regret, having know that I at least, you know, put myself out there. But yeah, like if push comes to shove, like, but even like the idea of like laying down and rot. Let's say I don't self-improve. Let's say I decide to go NEET forever and just lay down and rot and waste away. You know, even that kind of language is like sort of like built in like negativity towards like the whole NEET lifestyle, like laying down and rot. Like, why is it rotting, honestly? Like, rotting is being in prison and staring at a cell, staring at the wall in your cell all day, trying to, you know, act tough and crap just to not get like you know, effed up by other dudes. And it's like, that's actually like rotting. Like, honestly, this isn't even like, if I just NEET all my life, like, it honestly wouldn't even be that bad. You know, it doesn't mean I have to be. I can still try and like pursue stuff, but you know, at the end of the day, like, life sucks, but maybe it isn't too bad. I think that's obviously I'm kind of feeling these emotions right now just because when I woke up, because I remember in the dream I was on the way to prison. Like, I don't know how time works in dreams, like, but I was like, I had like a temporary period of like freedom before I'd go to like prison. So I was like maybe on the way to prison, or I was like on the way back to my home, I forget. But when I woke up, I just felt so goddamn relieved that I actually wasn't going to prison. And, you know, I actually had my life. Like, my life wasn't over, you know? And for the first time in a long time, I never felt so friggin' relieved that, you know, I was waking up to my room, my comfy ass room, where I pretty much have all I need to live a fairly comfortable life. So, you know, that's why I was having these thoughts of, well, yeah, like, okay, you know, maybe this isn't so bad. And maybe you know, it really put into perspective like all the things that I was taking for granted. The fact that I have access to a computer, the fact that, you know, it's not the best bed, but my bed's pretty comfy. The fact that I can take all these I can be vitamin pilled and take random ass like supplements every day, that I have a switch, that when I got up, it was like lunchtime, so I like ate some food, and the food fucking tasted amazing. Like, I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous how our minds can like play tricks on us like this, and how like a little like random ass dream that you have can all of a sudden change your perspective, change the way you see things. And, you know, this is probably, maybe it's coke, maybe it's whatever, but, you know, it felt nice, the fact that I had all this freedom. Like, you know, might have broken my nofap streak, but, you know, had to do it for science, had to, you know, show some appreciation for the fact that I had access to a lot of things that I wouldn't have in prison. Okay, I'm an idiot, honestly. And, you know, I took a shower, and I just paid attention to like the feeling of like warm water, like, you know, running down like the back of my head all the way down, and just like feeling that feeling of comfort. And, you know, it's like the little things in life that you kind of take for granted, but actually provide you so much satisfaction. But because you're around them for so long, they kind of just become that new normal for you. And eventually you don't perceive them anymore, but your mind is constantly looking for things to be negative about, for things to change, for things to, you know, improve, and, you know, that is important. That does have its purpose. But at the same time, I guess for me at least, I definitely lost sight of all of the positives I had going on for me. And, you know, it definitely was a pretty nice reminder. You know, obviously it's not great having nightmares, but it definitely made me feel refreshed in a way. I don't know how else to put it. Like, I definitely felt a massive sense of relief and, maybe a little bit grateful for the first time in a long, long time. And yeah, I'm not saying like people should, forget all the bad things that have happened to them. I don't intend on doing that at all. But, I think being grateful can be a good cope for the harshness of life, because ultimately, when you really think about it, life is inherently suffering. And what defines a person is how they cope with this inescapable fact. I think that's a pretty good end to the video, so I'm probably going to end it there. Let me just, show some appreciation for this lovely bed that I'm lying on, and kind of acting like a degen right now. Well, not really. I'm just joking around. I'm just being grateful. Shit, I don't know. Don't even know what I'm even saying. It feels nice. It feels comfy. I forgot how to appreciate all the comfiness in a long, long time. Anyways, yeah, this is a dumb video, but this is Comfy Neat signing out.